The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views or ideas of the staff or management of KWSH or the 110 Broadcast Group.
Good morning, because when I look at you, and I know it's going to be a lovely day. Fill in the gaps on that one. I'll tell you what, that's for you, Seminole Nation. When I look at you, it's going to be a lovely day. So, good morning and welcome to another edition of the Seminole Nation radio program. I'm your host with the most, Bo WHITEKILLER. Just want to give a shout out to Angela. If you're out there listening, Angela A. Comanche A. If you're out there listening, it is 97.7 FM, 1260 on your AM. So, and to all the HR staff out there, as you get ready for preparations for another one of your briefings for the nation employees, we say, Mado. All right. Well, today we got a lot of information, news we want to put out. Try to roll with the punches, but I just wanted to give some shout outs to some people that really have been helpful the last couple of days on some things that have been going on. And they kind of go unsung and they're kind of silent within the nation, the things that go on. You know, with this COVID-19, the pandemic going on, and with the a lot of our folks walking on to that next life. I just want to give a shout out to Skip Foster. Skip Foster, you know him as Bill. He works out there at the Seminole Nation surveillance area. I just want to give a shout out to him because he is a deacon out there at High Spring Church there in Kanawha, and he said something during a service yesterday that was pretty profound, and it kind of resonated while I was sitting there listening, and I thought about it today because we have in his capacity a lot of young men and a lot of menfolk that have a need to do something. They may have something that's missing from their walk here on earth, and Skip brought it out yesterday, and I just wanted to share that with you because it was really profound in the sense that it calls to account of where we're at within our nation. There's a lot of folks that are, like I said, have been hit with this COVID-19, and Skip said that our menfolk step up to the plate. Come learn these songs that we sing within our churches. Learn the language. Fast and pray so that you may learn these languages and take up this work, to do this work, whether it be, you know, cutting grass, painting the church building, or any things of that nature. Even with, you know, ceremonial folk, step up, learn these things, take part in them, and don't be afraid to fail, because nobody is wanting to see you fail when you take up on these charges, but they want to lift you up. So those things like that, when he put it out there, it was really powerful in the sense of a call to our young men, our young Stajati men out there to, and men in general, to be the father, be the uncle, be the brother, be the example of what you would want your children to be. And so I just throw that out there. You know, I'm gonna try to do the best I can and not hold back. I'm gonna sing my songs and roll along and suck on this green apple lozenge I got, and share the nation's news with you, and share the nation with you, because I'm so proud and humbled to be a Seminole Nation tribal member. You know, to be a Seminole Nation tribal member. Weecha. All right. Let me put my chest back in. Okay. All right. This morning, we have Lahoma Harjo obituary. She was age 59, a resident of Ada, Oklahoma, and passed away on January 27th, 2021. Lahoma was born in November 16th, 1964, in Shawnee, Oklahoma, to Carly, Jack, and Pauline Harjo. Lahoma worked as an LPN since 2002 and was a longtime employee at Rolling Hill Psychiatric Hospital for 14 years. She loved taking care of people and helping everyone when possible. She loved the beads, so watch OU football, Boomer Sooner. And she loved spending time with her family. She always said she loved her family equally, but her grandchildren were the absolute light of her life. And the funeral was yesterday at the Grace Community Church in Vamoose, Oklahoma, followed by burial at the Davis Family Cemetery in Saco, Oklahoma. Glenna Lynette Smith Allison of Seminole resident passed away at the age of 55 on January 27, 2021 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. She was born February 23, 1965 in Midwest City. To parents Glenn Smith and Darlene Conduli Smith, she was a graduate of Maud High School in Maud, Oklahoma, where she grew up before moving to Seminole. Glenna married James Carl Allison on April 8, 1983 at Twin Oaks Baptist Church in Seminole. Funeral services for Glenna were Saturday at the Swearingen Funeral Home Chapel with Danny Jean Allison officiating. Burial followed at the Little Cemetery in Seminole. Eric Jean Harjo, age 39, departed this life on January 23rd, 2021 at his home. He was born October 23rd, 1981 in Ada, Oklahoma to Bruce Harjo and Rosemary Halata. He attended New Lima schools. He later worked for the Seminole Nation as a firefighter. Eric was a member of Sand Creek Eufaula Baptist Church, and he enjoyed going to church, spending time with his family, nieces and nephews, and church family. Eric was always willing to help others. Funeral services will be at 1 p.m. today at Sand Creek Eufaula Baptist Church with Pastor Houston Tiger and Jason Tiger officiating. Burial will follow at the Tiger Family Cemetery. Our condolences to all the families at this time, and we'll have a moment of silence in remembrance of them. Mado. The Woka Indian Health Clinic is opening a COVID-19 is having COVID-19 vaccinations, and including a wider population in the patients. Vaccines are given Monday through Friday. The Woka Indian Health Clinic COVID-19 vaccinations are available to patients with an active chart who meet the following criteria: ages 18 and older with a chronic health condition, and ages 50 years and older with or without chronic health condition. School teachers, personnel, and first responders ages 18 years and older. All patients are required to wear a mask or face covering while interacting with clinic personnel to help decrease the spread of COVID-19. For more information or to schedule an appointment, contact one of the following numbers. That's 405-257-7319, 405-257-7330, or 405-257-7366. Again, 7319, 7330, 7366. Phone line has been set up to receive questions from our tribal members in regards to the second round release of COVID assistance, technology assistance. Due to the number of calls, please be patient, and staff work to answer individual inquiries. From Monday to Friday, the number is 405-257-7231, 405-257-7231. Now, if you try to call the 1010 line, you'll get me, but I will direct you to this number, which is 405-257-7231. Also, let me see if I can do it the way it's supposed to go. February 14th, the 2001 Spring Seminole Nation Higher Education BIA Scholarship deadline is February 14th. So you got 12 days from today. Get that postmark on the calendar. February 14th on a Sunday, so you're not going to get no post office action then. So make sure you get that in. And again, make sure that these applications are completed. If they're not completed, kick to the curb. No, I'm just teasing. But Clara said the application is now online at the Seminole Nation website, sno-nsn.gov, sno-nsn.gov. It's under the Higher Education tab with hard copies available at the Higher Education office in East Evans. And for more information, you may contact the office, 405-716-6040, 405-716-6040, or 6041. And we're glad to welcome back D. Harjo, who's working down there again with Clara. So just contact one of the ladies down there. And I will tell you, on the 16th will be Claire's last day at that location, as well as we're going to be moving to another location, which will be the former ASAP building down by the Pink Laundry. More information next week, but we will be moving there temporarily. Clara and the Johnson O'Malley program will be housed there at the former ASAP building, with the ASAP being moved out to the old John building, which is across the street from the Seminole State College. On the east side of Seminole State College, there's a house there, West Wrangler Boulevard, where the ASAP program will be housed. So more information will be followed on our website and social media pages as well. But keep in mind, the BIA scholarship is February 14th. Completed. Dakota Fish, exercise specialist at the Trafficney Wellness Center, shares a reminder to spread awareness of the symptoms of diabetes. According to the American Diabetes Association, every year an estimated 26,000 people in Oklahoma are diagnosed with diabetes. Are you aware of the symptoms? Are you aware of the symptoms? Being frequent thirst, frequent urination, unexplained weight loss, constant fatigue, and wounds healing poorly. Most diabetic patients do not show symptoms, but if you have any of the symptoms below, schedule a health care checkup with your doctor as soon as possible. Dakota Fish is a proactive exercise specialist at the Trafficney Wellness Center, and we thank him for all his work and all his videos they're producing out there. You can call Dakota if you have any questions about anything regarding to the Trafficney Wellness Center at 405-234-5246, 405-234-5246. Tell you what, Dakota Fish got that shoe game going on too. Dakota Fish got that shoe game going on too. Seminole Nation CHR program is open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. Main line to schedule appointment is 405-234-5273, 405-234-5273. And the services they're performing right now is the food pantry, deliveries, groceries to the household for every month, transportation to medical appointments, telehealth calls for current CHR patients to check up on current health status, scheduling and/or setup of outside services. And the CHR does not provide transportation to COVID-19 testing sites. So keep that in mind when you call the CHR. It does not provide transportation to COVID-19 testing sites for the safety of all persons involved. And happy birthday! Shout outs go to Keith Motley, Malia Tiger, Ramon Wolf, Matt Yerby, Josh and Cornelius Cedar Tree. Whoa! Got a call from somebody here. All right. Continuing on. Mitch Buck, happy birthday. Lane Harjo, Ricky Wolf, Tyler Porter, Patrick Thomas, Rebecca Votas, Serena Alexander, Abby Owings, Brenda Kuhn, Bunny Porter, Justin Yerby, Joseph Kuhn, Linda Hobada, Witcher. Happy birthday. And Cole Whitekiller, my nephew, he's getting married this week out in California. And a happy birthday to my baby fox, Miss Cameron Dawn Whitekiller. So happy birthday, everybody. May your years be filled with joy, because they go by too fast. I'm actually 18 right now. Dennis being 16. But our body's telling us different. Keeping Tylenol in check. All right. 3 items for discussion. Things came up. I just got, when you hear it on the radio playback or video playback, I got a call on my phone while I'm sitting here doing the radio station. And it actually happened to be the person that I was getting ready to talk about here. There was a special call general council meeting this past week in which some agenda items came up and which the council voted on. I kind of want to share that information with you. We do have an election this year. Officially, we have Assistant Chief Lewis Johnson be running for the title of chief. Chief Greg Chilcote, the incumbent, will be running for chief. And for the assistant chief, officially we have a candidate, Thomas Yohola out of Conowall. So the 3 right now officially. Now there's a lot of speculation on other folks out there, but haven't received any information calls to the station. And if that happens, and please by all means announce it at our station. We'd like to get that out to the people if all possible. But with this election year, there are some things that need to be handled, especially having an election board committee ready and willing to start. We do have Kizzy Mouse Haney, who was put on the election board back in December, so that fills a slot. Debbie Johnson's term expired in December. One of the persons that was also asked at this general council meeting on the agenda was Dr. Stephanie Bills out of Oklahoma City. So looking at the TR 2021-01, the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, tribal resolution of the General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, appointing Dr. Stephanie Bills to the election board. Be it resolved by General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. The General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma hereby appoints Dr. Stephanie Bills to the election board to serve a 4-year term, which shall commence on January 28th, 2021 and expire on December 7th, 2024. Dr. Bills is a educator. She's the number 2 at the Metro Tech in Oklahoma City. So we have that field. So 2 people on the election board, 1 to go. So if you know somebody on the election board, get with Chief. All right. Bring in the heat this year. Election board. Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, TR 2021-04. Tribal resolution of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving a modification to the fiscal year 2020 Seminole Nation Environmental Health Services budget and the fiscal year 2020 comprehensive budget. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma hereby approves the attached budget modifications to the fiscal year 2020 Seminole Nation Environmental Health Services budget and approves the modification for the fiscal year 2020 comprehensive budget. So we have that passed. So all this information will be posted, uploaded on our Seminole Nation of Oklahoma page, and you can check it out for yourself and download it. TR 2021-03, tribal resolution of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving the fiscal year 2021 Seminole Nation federal budget and incorporation of said budget in the fiscal year 2021 comprehensive budget and authorizing an appropriation. Okay. Now, therefore, be it resolved that fiscal year 2021 federal budget is hereby approved. The budget shall be incorporated into the nation's fiscal year 2021 comprehensive budget and operated and maintained, audited pursuant to the requirements of Title 14 of the Seminole Nation Code of Laws, OMB circulars, and other federal, state, and tribal law. All right. Toknawa. Good to go. Another year. All right. And lastly, a tabled ordinance that was brought before the council was the Seminole Nation TO 2020-15, a tribal ordinance of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma enacting the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma Game and Fish Code, be it enacted by the General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. Title 36, Game and Fish, says a law to authorize, license, and regulate the taking of wildlife within the jurisdiction of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. All right. So we looked at getting this amended in some small areas and getting some wording taken care of. The council approved it. What we can say and what we will say is that it's there. It's there. Any other items that you may question about or have question about, it can always be included in the future amendments, but right now, for the record, the Hunt and Fish Game Code is a law within the Seminole Nation. So there you go. I'd like to give a big shout out to the BCR folk out there who took time to get this taken care of, and with the work of the AG helping out with the wording of it. We are in the game. Chapter 2, the Game and Fish Department. Here's one. The General Council hereby establishes the Game and Fish Department as a governmental subdivision of the nation charged with the implementation of Title 36 and regulation of taking wildlife. Okay, so there it is. All right, if you got any questions or comments or anything that you see that may want to be addendum to them, I'm sure you will be vocal about it and talking about it. But that is a revenue-based area that hasn't been explored with the Seminole Nation. It's the first step to a larger world. So with that, if you have any questions, comments about any of these, please contact and stay in contact with your band representatives and your band chiefs. And a lot of the information is kind of a top-down approach, which information be pushed to band chiefs be pushed down to the public, and I'll do my best to get it out to you in the form of print media. Of course, social media, we're very active on it, but working to get these things out there, be transparent and accountable in all these things. No harm, no foul. Nobody's running from any hidden secret meetings or anything like that. It's all done deliberately. So if you don't get your answer, just be patient. Just be patient. The answer's coming. It's going to be the answer that will assist all of us within the nation. So they're staying active. The General Council meeting itself, if you've seen it on some of our playback, it technically probably wasn't our finest hour of transmission on it. I will say it was it is a work in progress because we're trying to do new formats, new things. But you know what? We're going to continue to move forward and make sure that these things get ironed out so that you, the public, and the listeners out there who follow us on the social media YouTube channel, watching our meetings, that we will be able to get that information to you as well in a manner that is coherent and approved by Jeremy Fultz, the audio engineer to the stars. But it's a work in progress, so we're getting there. I will say this also too, just kind of let you know, our broadcasts with some of the council meetings have been, as far as the Zoom and virtual ideas, have been in various different places. The complex has a conference room, and if you've ever been to the conference room, it's a total makeover change to get it into the 21st century. So there'll be an opportunity for administration to broadcast from the complex office and kind of command and control everything that's going on within the nation as far as services and programs. So looking forward to that. And our IT guy said it'll be up in about a month. So I'm looking forward to that and see what changes happen. Hey, I'm going to hold up a book right now. And you listeners out there, it's called The Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, A Legal History. It's by L. Susan Work, and it's a foreword by Lindsay Robinson. But the title of it, The Seminole Nation, A Legal History, I'll just read the back of it because it's really, kind of gives a little idea of what it is. But the important book is consistent with the Seminole people's oral history concerning events that form the legal history of the Seminole Nation. It will aid future generations in understanding the unique legal context of Seminole governments, by Leonard M. Harjo, Principal Chief, Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. In this legal history, respected tribal attorney L. Susan Work focuses on the Seminole Nation's enduring battle to protect its sovereignty. A carefully researched book. It should be read by every Oklahoma history student and most certainly by all Oklahoma legislatures. I highly recommend it. And that's from Wilma Mankiller, former Cherokee Nation Principal Chief. And then another gentleman says, in discussing the Seminole Nation's many legislative battles during the 20th century, L. Susan Work reveals a unique legal history. This is an important work for anyone interested in the history of the five tribes, Renard Strickland. And then finally, with Indian tribes nationally engaging in a historic revival, this account of the multifaceted activities of a major tribe in modern times is most welcome and worthy contribution, by Charles F. Wilkinson. So again, it's a University of Oklahoma Press. It's not on Amazon. I know if you go to the University of Oklahoma Press website, you can see it there. They did have copies of it at the museum there in Woka, a Seminole Nation museum, so they may have replenished, but I think they were sold out. But I tell you what, Seminole Nation faithful, put down that social media, Facebook, but watch ours, of course, but put down all those time-consuming things if you're looking for a book to read. It's one that we need to look at and understand. So a little shout out and plug. Maybe we can get attorney Work, Counselor Work over here to talk about it. Maybe get an interview with her sometime. So put my antenna out there. So if you guys know her or want to have her contact us at the office, and maybe we can get a interview with her, talk about some of the Seminole Nation, the legal side of Seminole Nation history. Excuse me. Bull Lakes Public Schools announced their upcoming homecoming. Okay, get back into the area. Bull Lakes Public Schools announced their upcoming homecoming, which will be Thursday, February 4th, against the Prue Rockets. Where is Prue, Dennis? Not Prue.
We're by Eufaula.
By Eufaula? Okay, I'll check it out.
East Eufaula.
East Eufaula, Prue Rockets. If any of you guys know where Prue's at, enlighten this young man here. I have no idea. Coronation begins at 5 p.m. on Thursday. The Bison Boys will begin right after the ceremony. So if you're out in that area, check it out. Mask up, of course. Make sure you got a mask. Social distance. Also, Seminole's recent homecoming game had the boys lose in a close one to Okemah in a score of 62-64. Seminole girls fared better, winning their nightcap over Okemah by a score of 57-43. Next stop for the Seminole teams will be against Chandler in an away game January 4th. All right, January 4th, Thursday as well. And then also this past Friday night saw the senior night at Wewoka, where the Wewoka boys played the Mulgee Bulldogs while the Lady Tigers of Wewoka played Noble Lady Bears. Leadoff game saw the Lady Tigers beat Noble in a final of 51-44. And next, the Tigers defeated the Bulldogs with a score of 78-55. Tonight will be home games for the Tiger teams against Holdenville with a tip-off at 6:30. Tip-off at 6:30. Again, wear that mask, social distance, and cheer them teams on. We got some more sports in the upcoming weeks on some of the things that are happening as we get close to district play, but we don't forget you. We know we got quite a bit of teams in action, so we'll definitely get more coverage on that as we go forward. Also, too, just to kind of wrap up and circle back around, there was a visit last Wednesday. You may have seen it in today's Seminole Producer paper. Kind of want to expound a little bit on that and for our listeners out there and paint the picture. Last Wednesday, at the invite of the Choctaw Nation, a few of us went to the Choctaw Complex. If you've ever been to the Choctaw Complex, I would say that it is a very beautiful building. It's a campus unto itself, self-sustained. They did really good down there with how they're administering and housing all their programs and services in one area primarily. But this invite was more or less of a discussion of the sovereignty issues that are plaguing the state of Oklahoma. Now, we have no issue with it. There's no argument on anything we've got. But it was just something of a gathering of tribal leaders where our Chief Joe Coate, along with David Hill, Chief of the Muskogee Creek Nation, and Chief Gary Batten, had lunch, an informal discussion of talks about way forward in all this, and it was mainly a good spirit of cooperation and unity shown by the leadership. A few questions was asked about some of the things that are going as we go forward that we will encounter regarding issues that have been brought up of sovereignty and in the relationship between the state of Oklahoma and the tribes. But for the most part, it was empowering. It was a gathering of empowerment, shared understanding, and there's a distinct possibility that these meetings will further enhance, or future meetings will further enhance some of the relationships going forward, and kind of talk as we go forward. Yesterday was a state of the state address by Governor of Oklahoma, and there was a lot of things that was left off in that. Now, there's no argument in which some of the media have portrayed the tribal nations in saying things that are not true and one-sided, because there is no argument on any of this with the state. We have no argument with the state. It's just a confident feel of what sovereignty means to us and how we're going to take care of it. Now, again, these stories are pretty much one-sided and want to portray the nations in a light that hasn't been really expounded on in some areas. the one thing that I can say the Seminole Nation, one thing that we haven't pursued was knee-jerk reactions to any of the comments or responses that came from the state or have came from any other entity. So it's been a deliberate approach, a wait and see, a operational patience, if you will, in responding to anything, or if there is even a need to respond. Sometimes the best response is not to respond. So, but going forward, I can confidently say that your nation is in good hands with what's going on. And we have a direct communication with tribal leaders from not only within the state, but throughout Indian country nationally. Pueblos in New Mexico have issued some favorable support, as well as some from the Wisconsin, Minnesota area, and others too numerous to talk about. But I will say this in closing of this program, that continue to pray, continue to fast, smudge, whatever you do or don't do, but be confident in knowing that as we said at the start of the hour, it's a lovely day. It's a lovely day. It's a great day to be SD Seminole. And I can assure you that the communications department is doing whatever we can to help and assist the forward progress and shared understanding of what's going on within the nation internally. So keep that in mind. It's a great day to be SD Seminole. All right. Love each other. Be kind to one another. Be strong. Be confident. And for a young man from Vamusa, all we can say is a mask is better than a ventilator. Home is better than ICU. Prevention is better than a cure. It's not curfew. It's care for you. So with that, we'll close out another edition of the Seminole Nation radio program. If you have any questions or comments, please contact our office at 405-382-1010, 405-382-1010. Story ideas, recipes. If you got any wild onions, bring them by. We'll definitely make use of it. All right. We'll talk to you later. Your communications director, Bo Whitekiller, signing off. Hadam Chi Chaflees. Hello.